saying where were the good whites? If you say there's good whites,
If you read the history, there was a lot of whites that led us to help us through the Underground Railroad. They let us stay in different places. So all of them wasn't bad, but a lot of them was, and the majority was. So that's how it was so many years.
so you're saying they helped us?
Yeah, you know,
They did? I thought we got. So you're saying, I thought we freed ourselves though.
no, Abraham Lincoln was president. He did the Emancipation Proclamation. That gave us some freedom. And when we were going through certain areas, there was white people that helped us to go through without telling other people that they were letting blacks go through this. So there were some good whites that did help us. Not most of them, not the majority, that did help us a lot.
But it was some.
Yeah,
But most of them were obviously racist.
yeah.
Okay.
Because they were taught that we were less than dirt
Yeah, but who were they taught that by? Like,
by their parents.
yeah, but who taught them?
Their parents.
And who taught them?
Their parents. It's a generational thing.
But where did it start though? Where, like, what made white people want to be like? Where did that start?
Because they thought they were superior than us.
Yeah, but why would they think that?
That's a good question. What?
How you doing?
I don't know. Why would they think that? But you got to go back. Look at it. You got to go back so far. Some of that stuff they didn't print, so you're not going to find the answers to all that. Why? When it started. But they started.
I was talking to the other dude. He was saying that a guy named William Lynch, he's the one that told you how to build a slave. Yes.
That's a Brewster.
Yes.
That might be right. He has not slavery. Why did it last so long?
And my other question was, in 1970, when they dropped the crack in our neighborhood, isn't that why we don't have a black dad? Like, isn't that why that ruined the black dad image?
Oh no, that crack didn't do that. No, the daddies were going a long
Do you
time.
think that they were trying to ruin the image of the black father?
No, because you got to be weak in order to have a substance to control you. Yeah, you got to be weak. So it wasn't. You can't put it on all on that because there was no good fathers before that, and it had nothing to do with crack. You know, but the other thing was it was alcohol back before that. It was they were getting so drunk with corn liquor.
Right.
They were dying. And
Oh.
not coming home. So
Right. And what are your thoughts on interracial marriage? Like, do you think we should be having, do you think, because there's a lot of white people dating white people today, do you think that's ruining, do you think that's putting us back, or do you think that's helping?
it's not putting us back, but it's their preference because they really don't know unless they can get past of how they treated us. That's
Right.
fine. But the world will always look down on them because there's some people that it's terrible because they betrayed us. They kept us in slavery. And you saw when the president was president how they white people went in the White House with Donald Trump. Okay.
Oh yeah, Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, or whatever you say it. So what do you think the best way, because there's a lot of, do you think young black kids these days, I don't even like saying black, but do you think they should know history and what happened?
Yeah, but y'all don't want to know it. You all
Right.
want to make it. Y'all don't want to know it.
No, I'm one of the few that wants to know, you know.
You don't want to know. But nobody knows about Dr. King. All they know is a holiday. But if you read Dr. King and all those other people,
Malcolm X?
Malcolm X, what's the other guy? Medgar Evers.
Oh yeah.
Medgar Evers was shot in his getting out of his car because
Right.
he spoke up for us. Whenever he speak up for us, and look at Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton is still around and he's still doing things that
Yeah.
because he
Would you say that he's a sellout? Because some people say he's sold out. I don't know why.
Al Sharpton.
Yeah, and Jesse Jackson as well.
And Jesse Jackson is different. Jesse Jackson is real sick.
Oh, okay.
He's if you look at Aretha Franklin's funeral, he's up there. He can barely walk. But Al Sharpton is trying to help us when we're in the right. When
Right.
we're wrong, he's not doing it.
So what do you think, like, because these young kids don't want to learn nothing. So how do we,
They don't. That's why
how can I get them to learn our history? Like, do you think it doesn't matter, or do you
they
think?
think it doesn't matter because they think it's not going to happen to them. But if you
Right.
look at what happened lately when the police were shooting and killing, they were killing people back then.
You talking about George Floyd?
Yeah, but before George Floyd, there was they killed Dr. King because he was helpless. They killed a lot of people died just for our rights. And then,
Right.
then young people won't even vote.
Yeah.
You won't even vote. And you're 18, you won't even vote.
Yeah. You know, I heard that Martin Luther King, before he died, he regretted integrating us. He was like, before he died, he was gonna be like on some, like Malcolm X, because Malcolm X didn't want to integrate. Like he didn't. He was about like Martin Luther King. He was like peaceful.
That's what it's funny. If Martin King had never integrated, you and I would not be in this building.
Yeah.
And we might not even, we would see when we were not integrated, our schools had less books and less everything because we were all black schools. When they integrated, we got some of what they had, and then they got upset.
Wait, so what do you mean? Some of what they had?
They gave us used books in the
Used?
black schools. Used books, not new ones. They got new books. They got everything top of mind. We didn't because we were black students. See, I grew up in black school until I was in 6th grade. Then they integrated us. When they integrated us, they started fighting.
Right. Do you think like MLK wanted us to, like, cause does it make sense that we go to their schools to learn? Like, how are they going to teach us about our history?
They didn't, and they cut it out. That's why a lot of you all don't know it. We got some of it, but we didn't get all of it. It's
so they taught y'all about real history or not?
a little bit.
What did they teach you that was real?
They talked about Dr. King. They told about Rosa Parks.
Well, no, they still teach that to this day.
But they couldn't tell you too much because they wasn't black and they were white, so they wanted to balance it out. So they just gave you a brief synopsis of it, and you read the rest for yourself. Like George Washington Carver, Harriet Tubman, all of those.
Yeah. And is it true that George Washington was a slave master and Abraham Lincoln, all of those people were slave masters?
Abraham Lincoln had some slaves, but he treated them real. He had some.
But he was a nice to him.
He's one that made a difference.
Oh,
And they
okay.
got upset with him because he made a difference.
Oh, okay. Is that why he's on the brown penny? Because they put him.
Didn't he get killed?
Yeah, and they put him on the brown penny.
George Washington's on the dollar. Ben Franklin's on the $50 or $100. Yeah, and see, most young people don't want to know nothing, so they don't ask nobody. And they don't want to know. You can look up
Right.
anything.
Have you heard of Dr. Umar Johnson?
Who is that?
He's like Malcolm X of this generation.
What is he doing?
He's a Pan-Africanist. So,
I'm gonna look that up on my phone.
yeah, his name's Dr. Umar Johnson, and he's, I guess Malcolm X of this generation. So,
Okay, that's good.
yeah, because we don't really have a Malcolm X of this generation.
No, because they don't want to get shot. They still
Yeah.
shoot you. And the only thing about it now, they shoot you. They used to shoot them and get away with it. They shoot you on camera and still get away with it.
Yeah, I mean Emmett Till. You know the person that killed Emmett?
Emmett Till was the worst. Did you see him in the casket?
I didn't.
He's on the phone.
They have a picture of him.
They showed him he's blowed up.
How did they get the picture? Who took the picture?
Oh, they took it. It was in Ebony magazine. They took it because they wanted his mama wanted the world to see what they had done to her son.
Oh, wow.
And you know it took her 20, almost 40 years to get it straight, to get the money. When she got the money, not too long after she died. It was millions of dollars.
And the killer is alive to this day. She even wrote a book, admitted that she did it. I don't know if you knew that.
But see, it was the whole story was a lie. He lived in Chicago with his cousin.
Who did?
He lived in Chicago, Emmett Till.
Oh.
He came down to visit his cousin in the South. And there was a white girl that walked by and he whistled at her. And they thought that was the worst thing in the world.
Wait, say that again?
A white girl. He whistled at her. And they went.
Oh.
And
Did he? Are you sure that he did that, or is that what they try to
that's
say?
what they said.
Oh, wow.
And his cousin said that he didn't do it. But it was his word against theirs. It was a time where we were nobody. And that's why
Right.
they killed him.
Oh, wow.
But she was able to, she said, no, that's my son. Take a picture of him. I want the world to see what they've done to us. And they wouldn't show it for a while.
Yeah, but there was no internet back then. So how did the picture get around?
It got around on specials on TV.
Oh, okay.
Then they kept it so the world would see it. So it's
So you're saying the government assassinated Malcolm X and MLK?
that's what somebody said.
I heard that they were going to come together at one point.
What happened with MLK was somebody inside told everything that was going on.
Inside of where?
One of his, you remember Jesus' Last Supper and one of the disciples betrayed him? One of the people that was in that betrayed him. They told him where it was going to be, And when he came out from the balcony, they was across the street, and they just shot and killed him.
Did they do that to Malcolm X too, or?
Yeah, Malcolm, if somebody had to know, and see, they didn't have cell phones, so nobody knew exactly where you were.
Right.
They didn't have no kind of phone but a house phone. So somebody had to know where you were going
Yeah.
and where you lived. Malcolm X said he was getting out of the car, and they shot him right there in his driveway.
Wow. Trying to think of anything else. So what's the best way to fix it? What do you mean?
You can't.
I mean, you can't fix it, but what's the best way to, you know?
What would you like to be done?
I mean, just deal with racism. Like, what's the best way?
Are you racist?
No.
Okay, well, the best way is just don't go around talking about it because people will beat you up because they feel like you are different.
I mean, do you think black people can even be racist?
Yeah, they say we're racist to each other.
Because racist, like, I mean, isn't that about keeping other people down?
It's about keeping other people down and how you feel about other people.
Yeah, but
And
wouldn't that be prejudice?
Yeah, but Donald Trump was a racist. That he changed the immigration law. That's why he didn't want Haitians, Mexicans, or blacks to get over here.
Yeah, did you hear the Haitian leader got assassinated?
When?
It was on the news just a month ago, I think. They assassinated the Haitian leader.
And the people in Africa, they're doing the same thing to them. They're trying to keep them away from here. They're smart people.
Right.
They're trying to keep them away. And it'll be a while before they get over here. It's a while. But when I grew up, there was a fountain for blacks and a fountain for whites.
Right.
But Dr. King fought for the integration part so we would be equal. We hadn't got equal, but at least we can go to Walmart. We can go where they are.
Right. And I heard that white people have a disease called Wedico. Have you heard of that?
No, who made that up?
No, there's I read something that said that you got to look it up. It's called Wedico, and
What does it do?
it basically affects the brain in which you like. They basically, that's just like, here's an example. Like somebody, if I take a knife and I'm stabbing you, and I say you're hurting me, that's an example. It's like I'm killing the person, but I'm saying I'm hurt. That's what white people do.
That sounds like some kind of crazy stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, would you believe that? Because the Native Americans, that's what they said.
Yeah.
And by the way, we are the Native Americans, right?
Yeah, we're not African Americans. Our ancestors may have come from there, but we haven't been there. Don't even know what it looks like.
So we were already here in this state already. And we were were we actually just around the world? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we were around the world.
We were around the world.
We were around the world. We got Britain,
Asia too?
like we're everywhere. Now we are.
If we were everywhere, how did they manage to take us over if we were everywhere?
We were. They brought the people. They brought them from Africa to work. And they separated them. The mentality of that, they separated the men from the women.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they brought the men over here and let the women over there.
Yeah, but if we were populated more than them, then how could they take us over?
We're
If it's,
not probably more than we're a minority.
huh?
We're not probably more than we are a minority. It's more them than us.
You talking about then or now?
Then it's always more of them than us. We might have in certain areas.
Oh, okay.
In the South, there was a lot of us in the South. And the South is where they would get treated. So
So not all black people were enslaved.
no, because if you look at 12 years of, is it 12 years of slave?
The movie?
Yeah, that was true.
That was true?
Because see, some of them, he was free. But they happened to go to a place where he was not free, and he got in trouble.
Oh.
Let's say they were free in New York, and you came down here to Virginia, and you were not. They didn't like the way you looked, they could lock you up. And you couldn't get out because there's no lawyers that would work with you. And back then, there was no black lawyers.
So the black people that were free, what were they doing? Like, what did they know that?
They own stuff. They own stuff, but they couldn't give too much to it because they was only free in where they live, not free all over the world. But King had a lot because his mom was a school teacher and his father was a minister.
Oh wow. But like you said, all white people were not racist.
And did not all of them not racist?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Because if they were, if this country was racist, you wouldn't know it, but he would have no black employees, and he would
Right.
have no black workers. He wouldn't do that. And there's some places you go there, it's all white people, and they ain't gonna have it. And we'll go and buy their food.
Right. You remember in the story of the Bible, it was a story about the fallen angels. Are white people the fallen angels?
No, you can't classify that because all white people are not mean, and all white people are bad.
Yeah, but would you agree? Like when you think about like, you know, what race does the most bad in the world?
You can't figure that out because you don't know.
You can't?
No.
What do you mean? Isn't slavery the most detrimental thing that ever happened?
But it's over.
I mean, it is. Well, mental slavery is never over though.
Well, the slaves that were slaves are not alive now, but they have children that are there. But the mental part, you can be a slave in your own house. You can be a slave to your spouse. There's people that are slaves from domestic. You know, okay, let's say you're married and you don't work, but your wife works and she keeps you in the house, and you can't get anything unless it's given to you. They're slaves right now. They're slaves right now. They have no choice because that person is your sole provider. You got to stay there and stick it out. Unless you run away, you have nothing. If you see the movie